A million ways to die. All we do is just live to die. This life is full of lies. There are a million ways to die. A million ways to die. All we do is just live to die. This life is full of lies. There are a million ways to die.
Listen, we all have heard tales of how precious life is. Tales that have kept us hopeful even in the worst of life's scenarios. It is no secret that most of us are only hanging by threads. Continually we wish we could cut ourselves to shreds. What we dread is authentic. Our fears are legit. Our choices are however questionable. So we are all living a lie, hiding behind stinking curtains, losing glimpse of the reality of life. It is not easy to stay upright when you are dying inside. Imagine the loneliness and headache emerging from all sorts of avenues of pain. When a rope to the neck, a dosage of 1 too many death trap drugs, a poison to the soul makes more sense than a breath of every morning's air. It's crazy to find a reason to live. Life's most overused phrase is, hold on. It calls us to keep going when we cannot cope anymore. The fact that we get bruised with the same people who promised us heaven, still nothing works like cries over spilled milk. Masked faces playing emotional haste. Families that break even when children are hoping mom and dad would be there at all times. Talk of feelings we all face on our journey to the top. Then stress builds up on all flanks. Depression eateth slowly, even in the last drop of our strength. So a million ways to die lies pile up. When one goes out of the way to end a life some cherish and cry for, the same life some would do everything to bring back their loved ones in exchange. Pressure and love for pleasure, social media bullies, elitism and racism. It seems we are, for many reasons, being pushed to see more of our irrelevance than importance. Suicide is seemingly an escape route from a trapped room. But how does a mortal think he has power to call off his lifetime when he should be remembering that a stitch in time saves 9? I used to think that suicide was a cowardly death until one day it looked me right in the eyes. Its glare with no blinks shocked my body. I could not move or find courage to shout. I had to fight it, even without a dose of strength. I could have lost the battle. It was all over for me. Today, I tell a different story. I never load that suicide knot. I walked that slippery road with no rope to hold on to, only my head held up high. I did not jump ship. I never crossed that road with the speeding vehicles. I threw away that deadly poison. I made that rope a clothing line. It doesn't mean it was easy. It was the greatest battle of my life. I might have been victorious, but surely my hands were tied, for I had no idea who was fighting for me, because honestly, it wasn't me. Death had me pinned to the floor and it felt satisfactory. I had genuinely given up. I was raising the white flag. And now, I thank God for seeing me through, for showing me a light in my darkest hour, for letting me believe once more when everything had turned upside down. So before you think suicide is the final word on your life's story, think twice. It's better to be safe than sorry. Then how better and safe a place can be than in God's hands. God will remind you of who you are, of your dreams, and let you see beauty out of shame. Actually, there are people who have been through worse. It's no use making a mountain out of every molehill. There are ways professionals say suicide can be prevented or avoided. I still have one more greatest weapon: trusting the one who gave you the life you want to get rid of. It's like burning down a house which is in a dire state because the landlord isn't working on it. The fact is, the house isn't yours in the first place. You are actually part of the mess. If it's about working on it, then it begins with you. Remember, none is exempt from struggles. Even the greatest suffer sometimes. There is one way to be born and a million ways to die. But then life is full of lies. That's where the million ways to die lies. Choose life. We all have gone through worse. Talk to someone. Say no to suicide. God bless. Apatsa PSALMz.
A million ways to die. All we do is just live to die. This life is full of lies. There are a million ways to die. A million ways to die. All we do is just live to die. This life is full of lies. There are a million ways to die.